And talking about young teams here too, Detroit Pistons, man. I mean, they got smoked by the Cavs, right, in the round one. But again, they're playing the Cavs here.
You saw the hope.
We did see the hope, and we did see the Pistons play them tight in most of those games.
Can I make a comparison about the Pistons?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that this Pistons...
Which Bulls year are we comparing it to?
No, not the Bulls. I'm comparing it to a team in the NFL.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you could do that.
This Pistons team, I know it's new here for the Fast Break. We're just breaking news left and right. But I'm comparing this Pistons team to this year's Oakland Raider team, and the fact that I love the quote after week one when Jack Del Rio said it. He goes, last year we learned to compete. This year's the year when we learned to win. That's going to be this Piston team.
How well is that working for the Raiders?
Last year, they're not bad. They've only lost
Black
one
Jack
game.
Del Rio.
One of the worst defenses in the NFL, though. This is an NFL podcast.
They can still pick it up.
All
but
right.
to go to the Pistons now, I feel like last year, especially in that first round series, was they learned to compete. This is the year where, are they going to be a top seed? Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised if they were 6 through 8. But
I would say more middle of the pack, but yeah.
But a solid 6 through 8. I'm not saying like they're like any weaklings going on, but this is going to be the year where they learn to win closer games, win those important games in the season.
Do you feel like they got better or worse this offseason?
Well, better.
I think they got better too.
Without a doubt.
So why are we holding them down to 6 through 8?
Because I just think like the only thing with me, I think that there's like I look at we've had this conversation before. I look at the playoff teams from last year, and it's like who's gonna fall out?
You got to break all logical and emotional attachments. That's what I go fresh.
I think the Heat fall out. After everything that happened, I think the Heat fall out.
Yep.
The Hawks, I'm unsure about because, yes, they have a good head coach. Yes, Dwight Howard comes in, but you lose Al Horford. You lose Teague. Yeah, I know you still have Schroeder. I mean, the Celtics, I think, will be good. The Hornets, I'm kind of about. Like, they're a mystery to me, but I'm not ready to say they'll fall out.
So then you're positive the Pistons are a playoff team.
Yeah.
Then why can't they be higher than 6?
Because
they form a fucking wall. In the words of Stan Van.
Thanks, Stan Van. No, I think at the end of it, I think that the Pistons are going to be the 6th seed with maybe the Bulls and then I want to say the Bulls and the Wizards get in this year.
I think high expectations for Pistons would be 3rd seed. I think low expectations would be 6. I think they're going to finish between 4th or 5th. I love
they've got a ton of talent across the board. And the big thing is if Andre Drummond needs his free throws.
That's a miracle.
I know.
It's like asking.
When will he go to underhand?
Never.
Please.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see what Stan Van never did it with Dwight. Dwight couldn't do it.
But look, if you could go from a first round and out to a NBA Eastern Conference Finals by him shooting underhanded free throws, I mean, is it not worth the harassment? Is it?
If he's still putting up like 22 a game, he could shoot like 15% from the free throw line. I don't think it matters that much.
But it kills them.
Oh, it does. But as long as they're winning games, Dave. Hey, Shaq couldn't make it either. Shaq was one of the greatest players of all time.
That's why they're smart and brought in Bogdanovich. Yeah. I'm sorry. I can't even say his name. Boban. I just think ears, to be honest. Like Bojan, I know they're different guys. Don't harass me about it, please.
There's like 7 different guys with that name in the NBA now.
But to one thing I will say, going back to like you say, the 5th seed, I will say, isn't too crazy because for sure the 4 teams I have ahead of them. Cavs, Raptors, Celtics, Pacers. Can we agree that those would probably be a good top 4 in any order? I'm not saying a specific order.
Not crazy at all. I would say high expectations for the Pistons. If they hit 3 is because the Pacers don't gel right away.
Yeah.
But I think talent-wise, those are the top 4 teams.
They were literally a game apart last year.
The only thing about your but look at what the fucking Pacers added, what we just talked about, all the pieces they added.
But those are all new guys that, like Sean said, if they don't gel right off the bat, you could have some issues. Meanwhile, the Pistons... They're growing as a team. They only added Ish Smith.
Let me go back to Then I'm going to backtrack a bit. The better question would be, do you think the Pacers are going to take how long do you think they're going to take to gel? I don't think it's going to be too long.
But that's why I said
I think Paul George is going to have this team ready to go.
I think that's why I said high expectations is a 3rd seed because the Pacers don't gel, and then I think mostly they're going to go 4 or 5 because maybe the Celtics, maybe Isaiah Thomas can't bring that magic and they fall down a little. But I think realistically they're 4 or 5.
With the Pistons though, the only thing keeping them out of a potential 5 seed is the Hawks. Like, what are we going to see from the Hawks? Like, are they going to be a 5 seed or are they going to be a dropout or below?
But what we've seen from the Pistons is just this team's so young. And what they did with that youth, I mean, they looked good against the Cavs. They lost every game, but they looked good against the Cavs.
Yeah, that was honestly one of the best series that was over in no time.
And that anyone played against the Cavs that year outside of the Warriors. I think they probably did a better job than the Raptors outside of the 2 games the Cavs lost. I mean, honestly, I didn't feel threatened that the Raptors were going to win that series, but the Pistons gave Cleveland trouble, and that's one thing that
you were just hoping they'd win one game,
and they were close.
I was.
They were really close.
You were just hoping, but the big thing that we got to see from this team is obviously KCP, Caldwell Pope, needs to stay healthy, needs to play more games, just like we talked about when we ranked the shooting guards.
And I also want to see Tobias Harris kind of step into that third guy because we saw him after he got traded over to the Pistons, and he looked good.
Yeah.
He looked really
he lit it up.
Damn good. And if he can be that third guy on a consistent night basis, this team's going to be so good. You got Reggie, Drummond, and Tobias Harris, and then obviously KCP, like you said. I mean, there's so many guys on that team. Stan John, too.
What are your expectations for Henry Ellison? Because right now it's limited playing time, but he does have, like, I think he can eventually take Luer's job for backup.
Yeah, he's a backup this year.
Well, it's because you got Marcus Morris.
I think it's a couple. I think it's like 3 years until he gets until Morris probably his contract is up. I think that's
pretty much that's the timeline.
Yeah, I think Ellison's because with his defense being so bad. And his shooting isn't awful. You want to see him hit a little more consistently from outside, but I think Ellison can definitely be a piece to this team, and especially a young piece when these guys do get older. So like when Drummond's older and Drummond's near 28, Ellison's only going to be like 24. So I still think Ellison definitely has time to gel and get there. So I think I'm high on the Pistons, and I might be foolish for it.
And just because I did a little bit of research for you,
Googled it.
Morris's contract is up in 2019.
So there you go. He's got 3 years to gel. He's got 3 years to gel. And the final team that we haven't talked about, real quick, Bucks. Team wingspan. We got Thon Maker, Ricky's favorite player in the NBA. Why don't you just talk about your love of Thon Maker?
I was going to say, do we need to go all Donald J. Trump and demand a birth certificate? To prove that he's as old as he really is?
Which birth certificate? The full birth certificate? Like, come on.
Oh, my God. We're not doing birth or conspiracy here, but he's not the president of the United States. We don't need that. And that's just ridiculous in general. But the thing that I do want to bring up is
off Buck fans.
The Bucks. I mean, I thought they were going to be at least competitive, but now Chris Middleton, I think he's out for 6 months after his injury. So this is going to be huge here because Chris Middleton was one of our top shooting guards, and he's a guy that's super versatile. He won't be a star of our team, but he's super versatile. How much does this actually hurt them?
I think that it's going to hurt because he's going to be a key to that team right behind Giannis, obviously the top dog there. But with the Bucks overall, I just kind of I have a weird feeling about them that they're going to have high expectations, but teams like the Wizards, Knicks, and Bulls just kind of end up above them. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, wow, the Bucks weren't really that good this year.
But do you think they can be competitive? Or in some games, do you think they'll show flashes where they can
get to... can give people fits because their wingspan just, I hate to say it.
Their team wingspan, dude.
It's just dropping another in the bucket. No, Giannis, we saw at the end of the season what he can do when he runs the offense. It's very, very smooth. I can't wait to see more of it. And I think Milton being out obviously hurts, but look, if you have Giannis running the point anyway, Michael Carter-Williams slides over, Dellavedova slides over, whatever.
Which would be good because Carter-Williams was our worst point guard.
Exactly. You've got guys to fill in, and then I know he's limited playing time according to Real GM. Thank you, Real GM. But Brogdon, look, this dude can ball. I really want to see him out there with this team. I think he is an excellent fit, and it was a great pickup.
Completely agree. Weirdly enough.
I know. It's the strangest thing. And they picked up Be Easy.
Yeah, they did. They picked up Be Easy, which was weird. I want to see what Be Easy can do.
I weirdly like this move because I think I'm a huge fan of his, but
the Bucks,
they seem to have a backlog at power forward, though.
Yeah, the Bucks, I don't want to say it, but they're kind of getting into Magic territory. But the thing is that the Magic kind of have some sort of resemblance where it's like, all right, we got Be Easy, now we got Thonmaker, now we got
Teletovic.
Yeah, now we got Teletovic, now we got Jabari Parker who can play power forward.
We got John
too.
Henson.
You got John Henson. We got Greg Monroe who can play power forward a little bit. Let's just take all these guys. We got guys. That's all we need. We need guys. We got guys.
Throw bodies on the floor.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. I think the Bucks are a team where we have to wait and see. Would you guys agree or disagree?
Yeah, no, I think they're doing a good job finding their true core. I think building around Giannis as the point is great. I think Middleton, like you said, he's not that guy who's going to be the rock star of a franchise, but he is a fantastic contributor. I think he's underrated because of that. And I think Jabari, dude can ball, but he's got some room to grow. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that. So, look, they've got young guys who they've got time to find the answer because they're all under contract for quite a bit of time. And then, obviously, everybody's super disappointed with Greg Monroe. So you get Thonmaker, a versatile big who has that shot, who's going to expand your offense, and who solid defensive contributor, when he doesn't fall out of summer league games.
And yeah, Thonmaker definitely has to work on a little bit of discipline, and I think that might be going with the coach a little bit. Ricky, are you sold on Jason Kidd?
I'm not sold, and the reason being,
you're not buying.
Coming from Brooklyn, it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, they made the semifinals. Then he comes over to Milwaukee that first year, and it's like, boom, right away, third in the Central, makes the playoffs. Lost to who, Dave? The Bulls.
Yeah, but they gave us a fucking fit. Dude, I was losing my shit left and right watching this series.
That was also the year that David Blatt is an idiot, called a timeout, didn't get called for.
Okay,
Should have been
he's
a
not an
technical
idiot.
foul.
He pulled a fast one on the NBA.
Guys, come on.
Are we coming back? Are you reeling it back? Like, I could go
back to J Kidd.
But the thing is, you missed the playoffs after being third in the Central. You're fifth in the Central, missed the playoffs. I think J Kidd's got to make the playoffs this year. If not, I'd put him on the hot seat to get fired.
5 teams from the Central in the playoffs. Is that what you're saying?
No.
You said 3 from the NFC North, so you're not gonna buy in the Central here.
No, not having a chance on that.
Even a loaded Central.
I think the Bucks missed the playoffs this year, and this offseason we're having the discussion of should Jason Kidd be fired.
I think Chris Middleton is a really serious injury for that team. I think they're gonna struggle to fill his gap. And then finally to wrap this up, I think we got 3 for sure playoff teams in Detroit, Indiana, and Cleveland. We can all agree on that one.
For sure.
Ricky, are you throwing the Bulls in there?
I am throwing the Bulls in
Dave,
there.
are you throwing the Bulls in there?
I'm going to have a miss.
I'm going to have a miss as well.
I don't like it, but I'm going to miss.
We agree podcast. I want to see what they can do. Bucks, I don't think they're...
Give me a month of time before I can actually tell you for sure.
Bucks, I don't think are terrible. They just need to get there, and I want to see what they can do on the court.